So, who is Zohran Mamdani? He came here at 7 years old, came to the United States. Had his parents been naturalized citizens during that time, during the 11 years between age 7 and 18 for Zohran Mamdani, he would have been naturalized as a citizen automatically by attaching to his parents' naturalization. So for him to have turned 18 and not been a citizen, his parents obviously did not apply to become United States citizens during his childhood into his adulthood, turning age 18. From 18 on is what I find kind of curious. He was eligible to have applied at 18, having been educated in the United States, certainly met all the basic requirements, at least on the surface. Didn't apply to become a citizen until he was 26, 2 years before Zohran Mamdani decided it was time to run for state legislature in New York as a Democratic Socialist. Now, between the ages of 18 and 25 in the United States of America, there's a draft registration that takes place for everybody, whether you have a green card, valid green card between those ages, or you're a citizen, United States citizen between those ages. You have to register for the draft. I was in the first generation of people who had to register for the draft in response to the Iranian hostage crisis in 1980. That's what Jimmy Carter did to warn the Iranians that they were in trouble. Ever since then, my kids, my sons, Zohran Mamdani, Chayase, any of those folks have to register for the draft between ages 18 and 25. Now, what I find kind of unusual about Zohran Mamdani is this. I don't think anything he does is not calculated and thought out, from applying to college and claiming he's an African American, using the distinction of the continent he was born on, as opposed to the ethnic orientation or racial orientation of him, gives him a defensible excuse to claim that he was mistakenly believed that a question about your race was actually a question about what continent you were born on. And he wanted to get into Colombia, which is really entertaining, that he thought, best case scenario, I'm so stupid that I believe this to be accurate, that alone would lead you to forget your ethics and your lack of character and your lying, Zohran. You wouldn't get into Colombia because you're an idiot to answer that question that way. Now, the question here is, did he register for the draft? Will Zohran Mamdani agree to release those records publicly, showing that at age 18, as a green card holder, he registered for the United States Selective Service System? Zohran Mamdani apparently doesn't own a car. But the real question with Zohran Mamdani is, did he have a license? Because if he did have a driver's license between the ages of 18 and 25, he would have had to have been registered for the draft to have obtained that license. If he did not have a license, it's very possible Zohran Mamdani was concealing that he was not registering for the draft. Now, you may ask, well, how did he end up becoming a United States citizen under those circumstances? Because obviously, if it's required to be registered for the Selective Service System to get a driver's license, you obviously have to have complied with that law and registered in order to become a citizen. However, there's this. If you are outside the age of registration, 18 to 25, you apply to be a citizen at 26, they will ask you, did you register for selective service while you were here? And you have to answer truthfully. And if you say no, this is what they'll do a lot of the time. And I know this from personal experience. I have a background in some of this. They will ask you very often to simply write a statement, write a letter stating that you did not know you were supposed to register for the draft, so you never did. And they'll let it slide. Now, Given the fact that Zohran Mamdani is threatening to arrest the Prime Minister of Israel, Zohran Mamdani has said unequivocally he will arrest Benjamin Netanyahu should he enter the country while he's mayor, unequivocally. Now, before he has the right to dictate international policy as it relates to our allies, perhaps we should know whether or not he's been a good citizen. One more thing. Your dad, since I know he influences so much of what you think about policy, nation states and everything else you believe, communism perhaps, whatever your thinking is there that you're hiding behind that smiley face of yours. The question is this: learn from your father, like your father. Your father threw his draft notice in the garbage, according to his own statement. Did you even register for the draft, Zohran?